Detroit Lions fans. Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Will here, flying solo, 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Just happy to be an American today. Just celebrating with the family. Took a little break to talk some Detroit Lions football. Actually, I was having a heated debate in the house today. So we're going to get into that in a second. But you already know, before we get going, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button if for some reason you have not hit that subscribe button. And think about becoming a member if you haven't. It's an opportunity to win a bunch of free stuff. We give away signed Aiden Hutchinson helmets, signed helmets by other players of the Detroit Lions. We got jerseys, we got gift cards, we got all different types of stuff. Even tickets are going to be given away at some point during the season this year. So think about becoming a member. It's not required, but it's greatly appreciated. Now, my whole family, Detroit Lions fans. If you watch the show avidly, you know my son Kingston is sharing his love for the Detroit Lions with the Baltimore Ravens. Uh, we haven't put him out of the family just yet, but it's been talked about. I will say that. But most of the family is completely Detroit Lions fans. And with that said, there's always heated Detroit Lions debates in my house. Today, the debate was something that I thought would be appreciated by all the Detroit Lions fans. I thought that was something that we could definitely get into. And Steve and I have actually talked about it. And Steve was really the first person that put it on the docket to me. So I was just telling the family about, hey, like, listen, me and Steve were talking about this. What are your feelings? So without further ado, we were talking about potentially bringing a player into the Detroit Lions that was highly touted in this NFL draft. But because of some allegations, went undrafted. That player is none other than the Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond. So just setting the table. If you're not familiar or you haven't really been even thinking about Isaiah Bond since the draft, 5'11", 180 pounds. This is a guy who ran 4.3 and had a faster time than the 4.2 times out there for max speed over his run, right? So didn't run the fastest 40 time, but had the fastest maximum speed of the 40-yard dash. So this is a guy that has true speed, unlike his counterpart in Matthew Golden, who ran a faster time. When I look at Isaiah Bond on film, he looks fast. Everything that he does is fast. Now, had a 6.30 RAS score. This is a guy who ran, and I love the 10-yard split. This is a guy who went 1.51 in a 10-yard split, which is pretty blazing. Uh, this is a guy, when you start talking about the statistics, let's get into that. Let's get into these statistics, guys. You got to forgive me. I'm looking at a little tiny phone screen. I don't have my normal stuff like I do at the house, but started off his career over there at Alabama. Um, 2022, 17 receptions, 200 yards. 2023, 48 receptions, 668 yards, 4 touchdowns. Shifted over to Texas. A little bit less in the reception games and yards, 34 receptions, 540 yards, 15.9 a catch with 5 touchdowns. Now, he was splitting. He was splitting some of that from some of that big time receptions and big time targets with a guy named Matthew Golden, who ended up being a pretty big deal in this NFL draft. So that could play a little bit of a role in his production going down a little bit. But when you watch this guy, he's a blazer. He's a blazer without a doubt. But teams decided to stay away from him due to the sexual allegations. Now, what interests me is this: he's completely denied all of the allegations, right? And not only has he denied them, he's filed a suit against the accusers. So for me, that's huge. I'm interested. I'm interested in Isaiah Bond. Now, I know we got a tough receiving room. I know we got some young dogs that we talked about, and Isaac Tesla, uh, Dominic Lovett, um, and the list goes on. Then the guys that we already got in house, we talked about some guys that's went undrafted. Like it's we have a Keeney James, the guy we talked about the other day. We still got TK85. Like it's Ronnie Bell. that receiver room is not a easy receiving room to break into. But when we're talking about a guy in the draft that was projected as a second to a third round pick, I gotta hear. I gotta hear out and see. Maybe we get this dude in the camp for the free, right? And this is a guy that we're bringing in as a free agent. We don't have to waste a draft pick on him. If we can get a guy like that into the building, and you get him around guys like Khalif Raymond, you get him around guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's that work ethic that how being a pro, I think it could rub off on him. You don't just find guys that were projected second, third round picks and have 4.3 speed, but truly I think that he's the opposite of Matthew Golden, where Matthew Golden has the track speed of the 40-yard dash speed. But when you look up the film and you say, man, I don't really see a 4.2 guy on the film. I feel like it's the opposite. Isaiah Bond ran 4.3. But when I turn on the film, I'm like, man, this dude's a blazer. Like, this dude's a blazer. So we did a little bit of digging into Isaiah Bond in our pre-draft digging, prospects, going into the prospects pre-draft. And we did talk about the fact that he's not really trying to block nobody, and we know we have rules here in Detroit: no block, no rock. It's not even up for debate. I just gotta believe that when you get into the culture of Detroit, it can become something that is just a requirement, something that you learn. But and if at the bottom line, what are you risking? What are you risking bringing them in? Now, I know there were some people that were completely against using a draft pick on them. They weren't going to use a second round or a third round pick on them. Hey, I was in agreement there. I don't know that I would have used a second or a third round pick on Isaiah Bond. But if you're telling me I can call his agent and pull him in, right, as a free agent, I'm very interested. So for those reasons, 4.2 speed, what I see on the game tape, him categorically denying all of the allegations against him and going as far as to file a suit against his accuser. If I was the Detroit Lions, I would be digging. I would have my whole team doing research, and I would be trying to find out what type of guy this young man is, how, like, does these allegations have any legs to stand on? And if they don't, I would be strongly pursuing him. The thought process of having another speedster alongside Jameson Williams, adding to the mix of big body receivers like Isaac TeSlaa, Tim Patrick is another one that I haven't even named yet. Man, with St. Brown, with Sam Laporta, with the speed of Jahmyr Gibbs and the underrated speed of David Montgomery. Scary speed. I know that his player comparison was Jalen Waddle, and I think about what I watched Jalen Waddle do on football fields when his back isn't messed up, he's not injured. Dude makes plays, man. So if we can get a guy like that in the building without wasting a draft pick, just falling into our laps like Christmas morning, I gotta get him in camp. I gotta give him an opportunity. So, guys, 4th of July, you see it up north on the lake. Had some fun up here, doing the water games. We're barbecuing right now. We're having a good time, getting ready to do some fireworks, bonfire s'mores, and all of that. Had to take a second to let you guys settle the debate with Isaiah Bond. Do you agree? If you can get him in the camp and see what's going on, you get him in the camp. Are you completely hands off on Isaiah Bond? Leave it in the comments. Let us know. Steve and I will be back with another one.